Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, and today we are talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. First off here, just wow, what the Brewers are currently doing is nothing short of remarkable. The Brewers have the best record in baseball, sitting at 76-44, with an 8.5 game division lead now over the Chicago Cubs. For a majority of this season, the Cubs were in first place, looking like the dominant team here in the Central. Now, to look at the standings in mid-August and see an 8.5 game lead for the Brewers is absolutely crazy. Starting from the top here, I know we're looking back a long way, almost 6 months ago into the offseason, but this is the same team that let their starting shortstop and arguably best hitter Willy Adames walk and traded away the perennial all-star closer in Devin Williams. I think a large majority of baseball people thought this was going to be the year the Brewers take that step back, but it's been the complete opposite. So how are they doing this? I feel like this isn't even a case where you can point out one player on the roster and say, oh, he took a step forward, he's having an MVP caliber year. With the exception of Andrew Vaughn, who's been on this crazy Cinderella run since he got traded over from the White Sox, they haven't really had any outstanding performances. Looking at their three probably best players here, Jackson Chourio batting .276 with 17 home runs, that's fine. Christian Yelich batting .266 with 23 home runs, that's pretty good. And William Contreras batting .262 with 12 home runs, that's pretty mediocre. That's the production from the best team in baseball's three best hitters. You look at the lineup and it just doesn't make sense. These are all guys who are built in the Brewers mold. Good contact skills, good defenders, they're athletic, they run well, but somehow this combination of players are 76-44 and on an active 12-game win streak. The pitching is the strength of this team, but even the pitching rotation has been head-scratching with the exception of Freddie Peralta, who is one of the true established aces in our sport. Brandon Woodruff, who was once a top pitcher in baseball, missed all of 2024 with a major shoulder surgery. He's come back in 7 games started, has a 2.06 ERA. He's enjoying great results even with diminished velocity. Jose Quintana is a true veteran pitcher who knows how to throw the ball. Looking under the hood of the peripheral numbers never seem to make sense for Quintana, but he's got 10 wins and a 3.44 ERA. Quinn Priest is one of the crazier stories in baseball. He was not on the Brewers on opening day. He was in another organization. The Brewers traded for this player when they were desperate for arms. When guys were on the injured list, they just needed pretty much any guy with an arm and a beating heart. And this guy is 11-2 with a 3.49 ERA. Now, we do know some things about the Brewers pitching labs and their analytic department. Maybe not specifics, but we know they have this kind of reputation to get the most out of their players. But this year, it feels like they can do no wrong. While I have been assessing this team in this video with some skepticism and some question marks, that all ends here with the bullpen. The bullpen is just nasty. Closer Trevor McGill, behind him Abner Uribe, Aaron Ashby. It's difficult to find a top three better than those guys. They also have great depth behind those guys in Koenig, Mears, and Shelby Miller. And they may have a brand new weapon, Jacob Misiorowski, joining that bullpen down the stretch. It's still unclear what the plan is for him, if they want to put him into a bullpen role or continue to manage his innings as a starter, but it feels like he's going to be a reliever, to me at least, toward the end of this year. I think the biggest part that I struggle with about this Brewers team is what is different from this team than years past. We know the Brewers are a playoff contender every year. They've built a sustainable model that works in the regular season, but they have also been early exits in almost all of their recent playoff appearances. I think from a lineup perspective, it's going to be very difficult for this team. There's no right way to win postseason games, but we have seen in years past the power hitters usually are the common denominator on championship teams. I think that is because it's so much harder to string multiple hits together in a playoff series when you're facing the opposing team's best pitchers at their max effort every pitch. The Brewers' kind of slap contact approach may have issues against top-tier pitching. I think if the Brewers let Misiorowski go and really air it out, they have a shot at winning a championship, but from what I've read, it seems like they're going to be very conservative in monitoring his innings. Peralta, Woodruff, and Misiorowski is a really tough three, especially in a short series. But if Misiorowski is moved to the pen and a Priester or Quintana take that third spot, even with their great season numbers, I don't think many teams fear those kind of arms in October. In conclusion, both leagues are truly wide open. I feel like we haven't had this much parity while trying to pick out a World Series favorite in a while, and that's a great thing. I don't think the Brewers are the best team in baseball, and I don't think they're going to win the World Series. But if there was ever a year to capitalize on a wide open league, this might be that year for the Brewers. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Hopefully everyone has a great day, and thank you so much for watching.